Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. I just wanted to discuss um, Capcom charging $40 uh, so that people in the United States or I guess on the East could watch the Cap Cup. Um, and I just wanted to quickly talk about this. Um, so there's a lot of there could be this so there's a lot of good that can come out of this. You know, I'm just looking at it from kind of a business aspect first. You know, um when it for this franchise, for games in general, more revenue is a good thing. And you know, depending on how this franchise moves forward, it could be good for everyone. You know, like for example, they make a ton of money with the pay-per-views. It becomes wildly popular. Now you have the potential for more like clans, more esports sponsors, um, more different ways to get involved with Street Fighter. Street Fighter having more of a global impact. Maybe create more Street Fighter like farms to um, or camps for people to like learn how to play the game and get good. Um, so the way that I'm looking at it is, if Capcom decides to kind of give back and share the wealth, or um, this could be potentially a good thing. And you know, being somebody that loves fighting games, um, this would be unprecedented for us in the East or in the United States, and would put esports on the map. But not only that, a Street Fighter, a fighting game, to first kind of implement, kind of open the door, out of all the other genres for this. So you know, when you look at it as in a positive way, um, as long as Capcom finds a way to almost give back, you know, um, I think it's cool. It could open a lot of doors for everyone to play Street Fighter and maybe make a living off of it. Maybe have more commentators. I love the commentators now, but I would love to see more commentators, more faces. Um, Maybe just have like mix it up. Just like Street Fighter, we like to see a lot of different fighters, a lot of different mix-ups. We like to maybe that maybe give other people a chance. And A lot of different ways that this production, there's a lot of different ways that this could be beneficial, um, for Capcom and the consumer. So Street Fighter being a game, is there's that you can, it's like enjoying, it would be like enjoying your job and getting good at your job, and stuff like that. But um from a business standpoint, as long as the company is not too greedy. And so I'm going to say the cons here. So a lot of times, from what I've seen in other game companies, the developers get kind of too confident in their game and feel like they have almost all the power, and they're bending the consumer to their will. And I would not like to see that in this game, where like maybe they're just pumping out like endless cosmetics, like pay to play type stuff. um Maybe the quality of the game goes down because they know people are going to play it anyway. That would be the con to that. But you know personally, I feel like it's a good gamble. I think maybe it should be like $10, $8, maybe 20 $40. It's a lot. I'm assuming that may have to do with tariffs and stuff like that, but 40 is pretty steep. On top of that, um, you kind of see the same faces over and over again. As much as I love the fighters that play, you see them over and over again, just dominating everyone, and it's not their fault. That they're just so good. But you pay $40 to watch 3-4 days of fighting games, and it's the same faces at the top, and you know it kind of gets a little bit predictable, a little bit boring. um, maybe they could do a little DraftKings thing and have it where you can bet on who's gonna win and stuff like that. That will kind of make it more interesting, as long as it doesn't become toxic. But you know, just like with anything, there could be a lot of great good that comes from this. It could be a lot of great bad, but we shall see. Personally, I feel like this may be the starting, the death of live sports. Like people are more and more people playing video games and not getting physically engaged in anything. Uh, and once people start investing in this uh, Street Fighter pay per view, um, others real life sports may take a tumble, may take a fall. So uh, this is kind of a big deal. Depending on how it goes, um, there's a lot. It is a very interesting thing, especially in current times, how things are changing quickly, how technology um, is just taking over. Um, you know, um, this could be the beginning of something. I don't know what, but it could definitely create a lot of changes. Um, and so, um, me personally, how I feel about this, um, I think it's a little bit too expensive. I do watch the fighting tournaments. I try to catch them every weekend. Um, and it's a lot sometimes to want to tune in for 3 days in a row, like invest your whole weekend to watch these tournaments. I try to catch as much as I can. Ultimately have to catch up on the YouTube. Um, but I'm all for it if it opens a lot of doors and kind of offers people a way to also make money off of it. Um, but it definitely has the potential to definitely make some headway to break some ground. Um, and what I also was gonna say is this is the pay-per-view is good. The fact that it's $1 million tournament, um it definitely would help to kind of maintain and keep Capcom going year after year. I mean, um $1 million tournament for a video game, um, you know, I know it's a very lucrative, I guess, business, but uh, to maintain that kind of going, you would need something to uh, money in the pot per se to uh, continue um, to that to keep that going. When they originally announced the Cap Cup for $1 million, I didn't think it was going to keep going, but it has kept going, and I've been surprised. And the pay per view doesn't surprise me. It's a very That's a very expensive tournament to host, a very expensive prize. That's nothing to scoff at this day and age. Money is, it's very hard to accumulate money nowadays. People really penny pinching. A lot going on in the world, and you know this is the kind of thing like, hey guys, you want this to continue to keep going. We need help. We need help to keep this going. You want to enjoy watching Street Fighter tournaments. You enjoy watching these big tournaments happening. We need money. We need money. And I hope that people can read in between the lines, because $1 million for a tournament, for somebody to win a tournament, uh, is a lot. It's a lot for a video game tournament. It's a lot, um, and it's hard to be consistent with it. And um, I don't know how much money these video games produce on a yearly basis, but there has to be a way for them to continue. Um, and that's the bottom line. That's the way I'm seeing it. And this was inevitable. Um, if people want to continue, if they're serious about seeing these $1 million tournaments, like, this is, business is business. At the end of the day, you know, so that this is inevitable. This is something that I saw coming down the line once they first announced the Cap Cup for $1 million. My mind was absolutely blown, but it's a lot to sustain. It's a lot of money. It's a big tournament to sustain. Even I think Evo doesn't even pay nowhere near that amount of money, let alone people complaining of not getting paid for Evo. So this makes sense. At least you have a pay per view. It's legit. Um, people are not going to play games with you, because these people are not playing games with other people. I'm talking about with money. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm excited for it. I think this could open a lot of doors, depending on it you know how Capcom, how ethical will Capcom be. Um, from what I've seen, they're okay. Like, they're pretty good on their players. They have tournaments all the time. They, they've been really good. I think you know they've been very fair, from just watching how the host and the tournaments and everything. And I think Capcom looks like a really ethical. I mean, I don't know, from the inside, but the way they treat the players and the hosts and everything, and the way they run these tournaments, um, I have not heard any like you know complaints or anything like that. So um, I from one standpoint, I think it's ethical for Street Fighter, the Capcom franchise, to charge a pay per view. Um, I think they should maybe have a I don't know, but it's really expensive. $40 is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of money. Um, but also, what I would say, another way they could go about this is if they do, like, if they have a collab with Netflix, and like these fight, the Canelo fight or whatever, and maybe have this Cap Cup on Netflix where everybody could tune in. As long as they have a Netflix membership, they could tune in and watch the tournament on Netflix. And then they could watch it even if they miss it. They could watch it at any time. They don't have to be live to see it, and that way everybody wins because everybody keeps their Netflix membership. They don't have to pay $40. Capcom can stream their stuff, and how if they have a collab with Netflix or whatever, however that works, that would be the best way for everybody to win on this, because you know as a bit, even like just putting myself in their shoes, if I was a businessman, you know giving away $1 million, for a tournament is a lot. That's a lot. That's production, that's dedicated hours to the game, that's that money um could be used for a lot of other things to help the game. So there has to be a way to offset the costs. Let me know what you think. You agree, disagree? What are your takes? Take care. Have a good one, guys.